Hello, happy to have you with us today at Radnor Studio 21 for a new series we're calling Race for Peace. Actually, the series was kicked off a couple of weeks ago when we invited Andrew Howell, who's the founder of Race for Peace, to join us with some of his guests. At that time, we had police officers from Radnor, Haverford, and Lower Merion Township who have joined with Andrew and the rest of the Race for Peace community that he's been developing to accomplish one thing in particular, and that is to convene people of all diverse backgrounds to come together, to get to know one another, to establish bonds, and to be able to talk through some very difficult issues. And that's what they've been phenomenally successful at virtually no cost because they have no budget, and with the passion of essentially one man who's been able to attract a number of people who are just as passionate as he is. And that man is Andrew Howell.
Thanks, Fred.
Andrew, I'm delighted to see you again and look forward to the series that we're going to have here at Radnor Studio 21. This is an important movement. And as we discussed, the plan is to have a number of segments with guests from the sectors that you've been able to put together. Today we're going to be talking with people from the faith-based or religious community.
Yes.
In future meetings or sessions, we'll be talking with people from business and civic, sports, education, again, the people that you have been able to bring together.
Yes.
When I look through that list of now 90-some or 100 and some individuals, it's very, very impressive. Again, congratulations.
Thanks,
Who are
Rick.
your guests today?
Well, I have Chaplain Ben and I have Imam Walia Bilal here, and they'll introduce themselves and their titles and tell us a little bit how you were informed with the Race for Peace, the progress of the Race for Peace, and some of the results. Start with Chaplain Ben.
Yeah, my name is Chaplain Ben Grenier, and I am from Delaware County. That's sort of where we're at. I'm a law enforcement chaplain of Delaware County. I'm the vice president of that organization, and I pastor a church down in Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, which is in Delaware, Delaware County.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we got a contact by one of our chaplains, another one of our chaplains, Perry Messick, and some of our police departments that are part of Race for Peace contacted Perry to contact us, and then we came up to the meetings in August, and we realized our mission, our vision, what we want to do in the community matches up really well with Race for Peace. We're all about supporting police officers, we're all about supporting the community, and that's exactly what Race for Peace does. And so for us, we said, hey, let's come on board and let's help out wherever we can. So they made me the liaison for Race for Peace for our chaplain organization. We have about 30 chaplains in our organization throughout Delaware County, and we're here to assist. So some of us have hosted the Race for Peace in our area, and some of us have helped out at different events and stuff.
Are all 30 of the chaplains signed on?
Not part of Race for Peace as much, but as part of the law enforcement chaplains of Delaware
Sure.
County. And they are all supportive of Race for Peace. It's just most of them are working full-time jobs, pastoring a church, and doing chaplaincy work.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them, their time is pretty busy. So.
And Imam?
Yes, I'm Imam Walia Ayub Bilal, and I'm out of the Philadelphia area. I attend at a masjid on 47th Walia Lucing. It's Philadelphia Masjid, was known around the country as Sister Clara Muhammad School once upon a time. Imam Kenneth Noordeen is what we call the resident imam, the lead imam there. So I myself and Imam Jamil and a few others, we assist him in many of the things that is done right there in the masjid. I guess it was, what, a couple of years now we met?
3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. One day Andrew came to the masjid and to pray, and he along with his son. And he just began talking to me, and I usually greet people when they come in and when they're leaving. And he began telling me about this idea he had. And I kind of just do what I do, and I was encouraging him, take it, you do it, you don't have to wait for anybody else, just do it. He began meeting with Mike McGrath, is right, the chief cop down in the Marion County area. Lower Marion, that's right. And they met, and he kept, calling me, can you come up? Well, let me know in time, and maybe I'll try to be there. But meanwhile, the two of them kept meeting, putting it together, etc. Then eventually, one day I did come. It must have been, I guess, at least 10 police leaders, commissioners, chiefs of police throughout the region. At that time, the Philadelphia commissioner wasn't there, but all of the outskirts, they were there. And listening to him speak on what he wanted done, and everyone there really kind of yield themselves to him. You know what I mean? He said, look, all you got to do, Andrew, is tell us what you want done. Or tell us where you're going. You know what I mean? You don't have to give us no long story or anything. Just tell. They felt the confidence of him speaking about bringing the people together, law enforcement with the public, and then bringing the two together, working together to see, look, we're human beings. There's no real difference. All we need to do is be comfortable with each other, and maybe it'll bring some of the problems down that we're facing today. So that's how I began my first meeting with Andrew, and then eventually the programs, I met Ben and all the rest, and the program started being laid out, and we went from place to place, speaking to whoever would come, having a good situation on every account, very good situation on every account, and police officers, police commissioners and chief, and some police officers that were there, learned things from the public that maybe they had never heard. The public learned things from the police department of which they had never heard. So it's beginning to sow. You know, the old adage many years ago was that the police officer is a peacemaker, and he's part of the community. So that's part of what Race for Peace lays out for us. How can we work together, get this trust back, get a feeling of love for each other, and have a better society to live in.
It should be an easy sell. That's a good message.
Yes.
Was your original intention to bring police together? Was that the beginning of it? And then others started coming into the community, the movement?
Well, actually, the movement started from the police, the clergy, the political officials, so it was all as one, rather than have them divided and have them come in separately. And I also want to really stress the point that Imam Walia Bilal was the one who told me that when I told him about the police officers, he said, Andrew, don't get any police officers. You get the top police officers, and you get them to get on a committee and be committed and dedicated wholeheartedly to the movement. And I really like to thank him for that, because he pushed me, and he always there, you know, counseling me and stuff like that. I really appreciate the whole Muslim community, Islamic community.
I'm not sure I shared this with you off camera, but when the police officers were here, the first session we did, show we did, they talked about walking into a mosque for the first time,
Taking
their shoes off, exactly,
Yeah.
and just getting comfortable
That's
with the
We had a
protocol.
good time.
Yeah, they said they had
Yeah.
a good time,
Yeah.
and to your point,
Yeah.
they learned a lot just
That's right.
being in a different environment with different people.
That's right.
But basically the same people, because
same
we
people.
all have the same, we all want peace, we all want harmony, we
That's
all want to
right.
live
That's
together and somehow work out our differences.
That's right. And if I can add to that, when they came, you know, there was a friend of ours at the masjid, and when they came up and saw the police officer, Shipwood, he was known in Philadelphia once upon a time of locking up a lot of people, and one of the members, you know, he came over to me and said, what are all these police doing here? You know, I mean, it was like alarming, you know, because it was, it had to be about 20 or something like that, and just before it got started, right? And he said, in Chipwood, man, he makes me feel uncomfortable. I said, well, you doing anything wrong? He said, no. I said, then go over there and speak to him. Talk to him. You know, in other words, see yourself from another side.
Yeah.
Let's work together to make things happen. And as he thanks me, I thank him for having the idea. And I didn't know it was going to come to that. You asked him, did he know? I had no idea. He was talking. I felt his sincerity. I was engaged with his son as well, because I take to youngsters, because all of us, we got to give a better picture to them. If we give a better picture to them, the future will be better. You know what I mean? So I thank Andrew also.
But here's something I still don't understand. There are a number of organizations, movements, etc., that are working in the cause of peace,
Right.
to lower the level of hostility, stridency in our culture. What was so different about this man and what he was saying, what his message, that attracted you, both of you?
Yeah. For me, it was definitely just the fact that everybody working together, and I've seen interfaith Christian, Jewish, Muslim community working together trying to create peace. I've seen political aspect try to create peace. I've seen activists try to create peace. I've seen police officers, but all working together at the same time was very inviting because, everybody recognized we're all similar and we're all different, and the similarities outweigh the differences. So let's focus on the things that make us alike.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on those things and let's create some peace,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is there's a lot of unknowns between everybody, and getting those unknowns and talking about those unknowns. Like a police stop. That's one of the big things that we do is, when a police officer gets pulls someone over. Well, what is a police officer expecting? What is the public feeling when they're getting pulled over?
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about that. Let's create conversations that can kind of encourage questions to be asked in a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about the events, and we've held a lot of our events have been in churches and holy sites and stuff like that. We've also done some in like the KOP mall and things like that. But a lot of them, you got people who are generally has questions, no matter what side of the faith you
That's
are.
right. That's right.
Everybody has questions, different concerns,
Mhm.
but same questions,
Mhm.
And so just getting those out in the open is a huge benefit to peace.
Speaking of events, you have a big one coming up in November of this year, right?
Yes, we have the second annual Race for Peace Summit, which will be held at the Harold O. Davis Baptist Church, 10th and the Boulevard, Roosevelt Boulevard, Philadelphia, PA, from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. So we'll have top chiefs, top police officers coming from all over the country, and we'll have faith from all over the country. We'll have people coming from all over to help support peace for one mission. And also we have been invited to the IACP convention, which is in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
through Fred Haran, who's on our committee, and I always tell people it only takes one. It took one police officer, top chief, who we never would have known that he's running for this office, but he's on our committee.
Mhm.
So when I always say we want to go around the world with it, that's one person that can take us around the world. And it's just amazing. These individuals on the committee, Ben, Imam, Walia, Bilal, these guys are incredible, and I'm just blessed that these guys are with us and just going wholeheartedly.
Well, you're getting to the point where you're going to need some funds, some money, right?
Yes.
To start funding some of these
Yes.
events and to expand the events you have.
We do.
If folks are interested in knowing more about Race for Peace and the programs you have, and if they're inclined to donate, how do they do that?
Well,
Are you a 501c3 now?
We will be very soon. We're 501, but we not tax exempt. Put
Okay.
it that way.
So you're
we're-
working on that?
Yes, but if they like to make donations, they can make donations to make all checks and money orders out to the Race for Peace Committee, P.O. Box 464, Ardmore, PA 19003.
Okay. Gentlemen, anything you'd like to say in closing to try to encourage even greater participation in this movement?
Yes, well, I'd like to say that as people look at it and realize that there are efforts that's made that's not extravagant and not harmful, but gives an opportunity to talk to the police. In other words, those who are the public, because in these gatherings that we had, as Ben had pointed out, you got all races,
Mhm.
young and old, male and female,
Mm-hmm.
that don't know how to deal with the police department. And the police department, myself, I have 5 brothers that were police. So who dislike police?
Mm-hmm.
Really nobody, until I guess when they get in trouble with them, they don't want them to be around. But the reality, the majority like police. They love to see them. When they got a problem coming on, they really love seeing them. So, take those who hear this, they should take the time in their own neighborhood, in their own community,
Yes.
and speak to an officer. Officers should speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
Make a relationship. Find out what this human being is about, and find out what this one is about. Because there's some police officers. When we remember one of the earlier meetings, one of the police officers, African American, he said, "Man, my problem is why do young people wear their pants down?" I said, "Now you need to sit at the table with some young people and ask them."
Right.
Then you realize it ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
What I mean?
yeah.
And they may have some questions for you. So it's a Ben already went over it, but it's a real good exchange. And once you make people, this is the first time we met. But we have an impression. We are leaving an impression on each other.
Mhm.
And that impression actually changed the way we'll see certain people.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So that's
Yep.
what we're hoping, that through the Race for Peace,
Mhm.
that it touched people in a way that they say, hey man, this is better than I thought.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So,
Well, we've got to wrap it up. Andrew, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here today. It's been a great privilege to meet both of you, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Rick.
This is a very special movement. As I become more and more aware of it, the good that it's doing, grassroots, it's from the bottom up. That's the best kind. And that's what Andrew has been so successful at doing. So if you're inclined, learn more about Race for Peace. If you're inclined, you might make a donation. But by all means, stay in touch with Race for Peace, because you're going to be hearing more of it, not just in this area, but I think on a far larger geographic area. Until next time, take very good care of yourselves.